Hello and welcome to the virtual class on how to make powerful presentations. So what we're going to talk about today is how to take data from Excel and put it into a PowerPoint presentation to make it stand out, to have people who are watching your presentation remember you and the data that you're presenting. So let's get started, but because all of you are from different industries, I want to take an example that is very common to all of you, and that is monthly expenses. So if you see the first slide we have here is that we've got the monthly household expenses. We have all the different categories like kids and pets and taxes and entertainment and transportation and housing, right? And all of the different costs. Well, this slide is very typical. You see this type of thing all the time. But you know what? It's not that exciting. By doing something very simple, you could actually make it look a lot better. So I'm going to show you this next slide. So this slide here is much more exciting, right? You've got the same information, but just very quickly looking at it, you can see what you spend less money on versus the most money on, which is housing, and housing is 34% of your expenses. So let me ask you, if you were to look at these two different slides, which one would you remember the most if you're sitting in a presentation, right? Yeah, I think so, that we all would agree that this one right here is much better. Okay, so let me show you how to do this. It's really easy. Now, what we're going to do first is you're going to click on the last slide. You're going to right click. You're going to use right click a lot in PowerPoint. You'll right click and you go where it says new slide. So it's just going to be basic, and it's going to have sort of like the template. Now we don't want all those things. So what you do is you click on it and then you just click on delete and it goes away. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our Excel that we have. So you've already put in your categories and your costs. You've put in all the information. Now how to create a chart is you're going to highlight the categories and the costs. Okay, I'm just going to highlight it. Then I'm going to go up here to Insert. I'm going to go over to Recommended Charts. Now here you're going to see we've already done the column chart. There's line charts, there's bar charts, but let's try a pie chart. There are different types of things you can select, but let's go with this 3D pie. That's pretty cool. You click on OK. Now what comes up are these two different boxes. So click on those. So click on the one that looks like a paintbrush. This is asking you what kind of style, what do you want it to look like? So you can see all the different types of styles, you can see all the different colors, and then this other box right here, this has some different elements to it. Now the chart title, I don't think it looks good having this total there, so if I unclick that, it goes away. I do want labels on it, right? Because I want to see how much things cost. So I'm going to click that. Now, if you click on this arrow, you can do it on the inside, the outside, but I like Best Fit. So I'm going to click on Best Fit. Now, the legend is pretty cool right here. I'm going to click on what that could look like. It can be on the right like it is, or it can be on the top. It can be on the left, on the bottom. But let's go back to having it be on the right-hand side. Okay, so we've done all that, right? But let's click one more time on the style. See what we like. Well, I think this one looks really good. There are different types, but let's click on this. And if you wanted to actually change the colors, like if you just want it to be like monochromatic, you can do that. All different sorts of choices here, but I like the colorful. Okay, so now that we have it set, we're going to go over here. We're going to click on the pie chart that we've made. Again, we're going to right click, go to copy. We're going to go open up the PowerPoint slide that we have. We're going to click on it. We're going to right click and go paste. Look, there it is. Okay, it's pretty simple. Now, as you saw from the last slide, I had a header up here. Well, I want to insert that now. So I'm going to go to Insert. I go to Pictures. There's different things you can insert, but I want to insert a picture. So I click on that. I have something for monthly budget. I'll click on it. It comes up. Now you can place it anywhere you want to simply by dragging it. I'm going to drag it to the top. Now if we recall over here, I have something written, right? I'll show you how to do that. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Insert again, and you're going to go to Text Box. I'm going to click there. there, generally put it where I want, and I think I wrote, say, monthly household expenses, and then under that I wrote itemized totals. Okay, so if you want this to be in bold, you can do that. You can make it larger if you want to. I think I'll make this be a little bit larger, but not in bold. I'll make this maybe 24 point. Okay, so now you can move it to where you want it. I can even change the color by highlighting it, going to the different colors, and selecting the color. So there you go. Okay, so now let's go back to our diagram that we have here. Now let's make it as large as we possibly can so it takes up all of the space in the slide. So there you go. Okay, so now here what we have, this looks really good, right? But I don't know, I'm getting kind of old, and so some of these numbers are kind of small for me. So I'm going to just click on one, and they all will highlight. Well, it's only at 9-point font. That's too small. So I'm actually going to go to like 12-point font because that's easier for me to read. I can change the colors if I want to, but I think that white really shows up well. Now over here with the legend, you can click on that and you can move that around. I think that's too small. Again, it's a 9-point. So we're going to go up there, go down to 12, and now this is bigger as well. But look, I lost some of the data, so I need to make sure that I make this a little bit bigger so that all of the information is there, and it is. Now here's something also pretty cool, is that let's say like in the other slide, I really wanted to highlight the fact that the household expenses are really my greatest expense. Well, I'm going to click on this piece of the pie, and look what happens. I can pull it out a little bit, and look, it separates. So that kind of shows right there, right, that it's something I want to highlight. Well, let's go one step further. Let's go back to Insert. Let's go to Shapes. Now in Shapes, you have arrows and you have lines, you have all sorts of things. And you also have these call out buttons. So I'm going to click on that, and I am going to then make one right here. And what's really cool is you see this down here, you can drag it and you can make it point wherever you want to. So see that? And then up here, because the blue is kind of too confusing, I think, with the other colors, but you've got different choices up here. So if I were to click on that, that's nice and bright and different. So I'm going to click there, and then I'm going to write up here that household is 34% of expenses. Well, you see how it's written in white? Can't really read that. So I'm going to highlight it. Okay, I'm going to go back to Home. I'm going to go to my font colors. I'm going to select black. I'm even going to make this a little bit bigger because it's kind of small. And I'll click it there. Maybe I'll center it a little bit. Maybe make this a little bit smaller. And there you go. Look at that. So this is so much better than that. I think you'll agree. And it was so easy to do. I think it took us seconds. So anyways, those are just some quick tips that I hope will help you. All right, thank you so much.